Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CCL Kickoff Classic. It's myself, Visions and Proper, joined with you for this grand final. We had to go through this bracket, Andy. We had all these hype matchups, and now we finally got two teams here left to see who is going to come out on top here. Concord Maroon have a chance to be able to go back-to-back from last season, but they're going up against SIUe Red, and they've been pretty dominant throughout a lot of their series, not dropping a map, I believe, at least in the last couple of rounds, and they've been absolutely insane at clutching up in the final moments.
Yeah, from what I can see over here on my monitor, I mean, so far all the way even back towards quarterfinals, no. I mean, Southern Illinois, they have not dropped a single map thus far. I mean, after the 3-0 over Florida State, which we just got the pleasure of casting here on the Alpha, and then over on Bravo channel, and what you just got to see conclude over yonder was Concord Maroon and a map 4 beating the Illini Orange. Like you talked about, the biggest narrative here is Concord Maroon going to be back-to-back kickoff champions here for the CCL. This is your runner-up. This is your second place finisher for the Modern Warfare season back in playoffs where they lost to Texas A&M Maroon, where these four core players were on that specific roster coming in towards the mix for Southern Illinois University. I'm not going to lie to you here, Chief. I mean, this is what's really interesting is that this team, this college only got, I think, a collective 4 wins throughout the regular season. And through this revamp, they look fantastic. So, I mean, you strap yourselves in because this is going to be an absolute fantastic grand finals as we have a little bit of a lobby mishap. So we'll go ahead and just tell you what the map set is going to be. It'll be above our beautiful heads, at least above Austin's beautiful head. We have Moscow for the hard point of what you just saw. Then we're going to be moving over towards the raid, search, and destroy. Raid will be there for control as well. And if we have to go towards that map 4 and 5, checkmate, hard point, and then the Moscow search and destroy. Keep in mind, you, because it's a single elimination bracket, no bracket resets, only a single best of 5 here.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's what's really different from a lot of our tournaments where you have this massive buildup of this team that's going through losers, and now the chance to come up and bounce back with 2. Now, this is 2 winning teams that have won up towards this point, and now it's just going to be the decider of who is going to be able to go big and clutch up. Now, we talk about clutch being a factor, and for anyone that did not watch that last series that we just saw with SIUe Red, there was multiple times where they were actually behind, they were losing, but for whatever reason, Andy, the squad in like the final moments and like the final minute maybe in particular, they're just able to just absolutely go massive. Every single one of their players as well. We saw multiple 2v4s kind of take place in the control. We saw them really slow things down, have a really good tempo, I would say, throughout their overall team chemistry. And that's exactly what you need to take down a squad like Concord Maroon, because these are 4 players coming off of the roster from 5 last year, and they also got that chemistry. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Both of these squads going head to head to see who is going to be the Kickoff Classic champion. We're on board with Megatron here to kick things off in P1. He will find his very first initial kill on towards Buzz, losing some of his teammates in and around him as the challenge comes right to him. He finds one, can't land the second, and that's going to be SIUe Red in control of P1 early.
Really hoping to hold on towards these P2 spawns as well, our SIUe Red, and well, I mean, so far so good. Again, your main focus here on Moscow Hardpoint. If you're new to Cold War, you're new to watching the competitive scene, especially on Moscow Hardpoint, get those money hills. P2 is one of those, but a big kill comes through off screen. Big 3 kills in sequence of one another now for Concord Maroon. In a very lightning fashion, they will now push themselves past the 50-yard line, past the cutout wall. They're going to go ahead and get Red Chase, who has just been frying all night long inside a top police station with that AR to be able to turn this into a money hill. Only 5 seconds remaining inside P1.
Mythic, big 2 kills coming off that last hill. That spawns 2 players out there, 6 and 7 on your mini map. They spawn street and have a chance to actually pinch in behind, depending on how fast Mythic can actually make this play. He knows Red Chase is going to be up top, but not going to be interested in that. Instead, prioritizes the hill, but Megatron assisting out his sub player inside of P2 will be good enough to be able to at least stop them from hitting the pinch. Crook goes for a very aggressive challenge, and it will pay off as he is on 3 in a row. Concord Maroon now with control of the spawns, control of the hill, and maybe Crook even looking to make a very early rotation towards the next one.
Yeah, this is actually a really good play. Big shot punch from Crook to take Buzz down. They know now do SIUe Red that Crook is just going to try to fly over towards P3. They will meet their demise. So after it's all gone and done and dusted, there's only 15 seconds remaining. Wise move coming out from Southern Illinois University to not try to hit this one more time, knowing that P3 is going to be where they can try to come back inside of this hardpoint map. And you also have D-Day watching on the back on the exit from Bank, where they will find Trauma. So now the Concord Maroon will give up the back 3 seconds. They're going to have to try to wait for the reinforcements to try to break inside P3.
This is a very important hold here for SIUe Red. They need to bounce back, and they need to get just about a full 60 here is what they would love to get. Looks like the push will be pretty much coming from the front. One player in the back, but Plasmid, he just lines up all 3 brings them home, sweeps them under the rug like it's nothing. Another day on the job. First push will not be successful, but now the second coming through the middle. Buzz, great discipline, will back up and throws the nade and will still play his life. Goes for the re-challenge, but Crook will be able to win the one-on-one. Mythic loses the one-on-one battle in the front of the hill, so Megatron able to bust on through, and this is a good chance to be able to take away the last 25 seconds here for Concord Maroon.
Split spawns coming on through now as Plasmid and Mythic will now spawn over towards the pillar side, so they might just try to battle for the back 10, but look at the wise moves coming out from Concord Maroon. Yes, Megatron did spawn over inside the library, but you want to get set up for this Boulevard Hill. This is where things might just make or break, and it's got to be a little bit of a crossfire. The Semtex is going to come through. Red Chase actually gets tagged with that underneath of the self, and they're under fire. They're trying to hold down the triggers, able to get the kill onto D-Day, and that's a big kill nevertheless. Might just mean that they might be able to hunker on down for this B4 hill here, Austin, but the hit's about to be coming through very quickly for SIUe Red, and you know that they want the majority of this P4 hill.
D-Day having a slower start than usual. Unable to win on that battle means Concord Maroon able to get their feet inside of the point. A chance to maybe climb over 100 points as they have the setup. 30 seconds is here, but Buzz does find an angle and will be able to actually convert for 2. No one was watching, so the setup is going to be broken. Crook, the last one, really up, and he has to wait for his teammates before making this play, and it looks like Concord might simply look at cutting off the rotation back towards B1, but SIUe Red off the last hill on this one should be good to bring this one close, but instead Crook hits this one more time and will make sure the scrap time is fought for and will swing the way of Concord.
Well, after it's all said and done with the first set of hills, it's going to be just about a 40-point lead in favor for Concord Maroon. Actually, exactly just that. And we'll look at even the setup for the mini-map itself. You got players for Concord Maroon already playing towards the cutout wall, already looking towards that P2 spawn area, and they're able to do just that. SIUe Red reeling at the beginning of the second set of hills, but you know that they're going to not just feel comfortable playing off the back heel. They're going to be looking to be pushing this over by the globe. To break in towards these P2 spawns early would be influential to the success for them to come back in this first map.
It sure would be, but it's just all red pouring in towards this B. D-Day, the last one up, and he really doesn't even stand a chance here on breaking this with all the setups that are still intact. And there's Megatron finding himself one heck of a game. 15-9 now with 43 seconds in the hill. This has been great, and now they're going to look to cut off everyone making their way in behind P2. This is another situation where Concord Maroon always ahead of the curve, making sure they have the favorable spawns. 7 seconds remaining on this P1 hill. Red Chase needs to find Plasmid, but that will be 2 players down, and I believe both will spawn out. So this is their chance to break on through and see if they can get control.
Hey, you're still going to be worried about, Crook is up in top police. You can only imagine that they're working with a 74U, so not exactly the weapon that you want from that range. Plasmid will now take them down, and inside the hill, they will absolutely flourish. 45 seconds remaining inside P2. One hit coming on through inside of the lobby. Mythic will take care of Megatron in kind, but you also have a few more staggering members from Concord Maroon looking to hit this one last time. They're not spawning too far out here, Austin. They're going to be hitting this from the cutout wall side. Crook with the shot punch is going to be good to take down Plasmid. It is a 4-for-1 trade that Concord Maroon break inside the back 30.
So 30 for 30, and now this will likely just be cutting off the mid-map, but Megatron finds that first one. And now take a look at the mini-map here, because this means that they might spawn out, and they do. So this is going to be a bit of a 2v3 that takes place on the mini-map here for us as we make our way across the map, and this very well could make or break SIUe Red if they can't hold it like last time. In Red Chase, he finds Buzz on this rotation, making his way closer and closer towards L, but Mythic somehow brings home an impossible kill on the heady, shuts down Crook, tries to turn for Megatron, but he will bring that one home with ease. So Megatron gets his foot inside of the point. They have some control in Library, but the spawns are still not in Concord's control.
Not yet. I'm going to be looking to just play this exact position, be able to find these kills. I mean, this is just absolutely devastating for Southern Illinois as well. I mean, you're spawning inside the library. Crook doubles on down. Mythic does take them down in return, but luckily enough, they did find a decent amount of kills at SIUe Red to be able to push back Concord Maroon from the further spawns, but that's a job well done if you are Concord Maroon. You hold a very good lead over SIUe Red through the opening 3 hills on the second set, so now you're just going to be playing for the exit kills and for an easy rotation towards the end.
Shots not there for Trauma. He loses that battle. And that means Plasmid's allowed to push a little bit forward into Bank, but will be picked up here from Crook. He's playing this excellent roaming role just in and out of the back of the hill right now, trying to cut down all the players making their move towards New. and we'll have a couple of players that are going to be making his way towards his left now. Big play for Crook to be able to maybe answer with a kill or maybe two. Throws the Semtex, waits for the challenge. Big plays coming through. Crook finds himself on 3, 21 and 8. Multiple players popping off now for the side of Concord Maroon. Crook will press a little bit too much forward and will get punished here as Mythic tries to throw his body on the hill as they desperately fight for time on P4.
And this was the profile for Concord Maroon all throughout the Modern Warfare year. I'm sure you remember us. I mean, Crook always going on an absolute tear with the SMG. This is where they will absolutely flourish, to be able to break things on in. Now, their duo of Trauma is not being able to do as much work as you would hope, but luckily enough that Jamie Megatron is right there to be able to pick up the pace as well. 21 and 17 for them. Red Chase, 17 and 12, will now be cut down inside of P4. 10 seconds now remaining, and SIUe Red from P3 over inside of P4 actually bring themselves back inside this game. So inside the third set of hills we go. Only 5 seconds remaining. Concord Maroon's lead now just about lower than about 38 or 30 or so. So now SIUe Red in a great spot to break inside the P2 spawns early. They do just that while keeping P1 contested. This could be the point where we might see a lead swap.
This very likely could be controlling the spawns for next, and that is really what we're going to be looking at for as far as the game state for us. But still, 40 seconds left at least on the reset here. Back to P1. Mythic finds himself a big kill inside the hill, trying to play that objective role, but will be cut down from Crook's nade. And that means Trauma is now free to soak up a bit of time as everyone is focused on the spawns, but you don't want to give this 30 seconds over. Trauma puts himself in a great position, tags up a couple players here, making their way through cutout. Crook's nade once again finding value here, cutting players down, making their way in towards the point, but now it's just Trauma trying to lock down the back 15. D-Day does not want to go for the challenges. They don't really read the numbers correctly, and it's going to be a full flood coming through the middle of the map, trying to see if they can actually push and get control of the spawns. 2 players will spawn out on the mini-map. We see it. Can they hold on towards this at P2? Because they're going to have to.
Oh, Buzz goes down. You really needed Buzz to keep their life, and now it's just poor Mythic inside the hill. How much value can they find? 45 HP. The regen not coming through in time. Megatron cuts them down, but inside the green lobby, they will fly. Very close spawns for SIUe Red. They have no choice. They gotta fly inside this hill. You can't allow Concord Maroon to get too comfortable inside the police station. And now just trying to hit it out from the green area. Trauma doubles on up. D-Day's able to find one, but that is a big kill feed for Concord Maroon. They have more than enough time to close it out here.
They do have enough time. There has to be a contest for about 7 or 8 seconds or so, and that's a big 2 kills to allow you entry and get closer towards the point. Make that 3 kills. Last player is going to be Trauma. Trauma almost snaps for 2, but D-Day is now on the point, trying to extend it, send it towards the next point, and it looks like they have been able to do exactly that. Only 9 seconds here. That is not good enough for the win. All these white arrows on the mini map, they are already across the map. They are set up here. If they can hold on towards this, Andy, they still have a chance at being able to take the dub.
It's got to be a flawless defense here on P3. 245 to 188. 50 seconds remaining. Concord Maroon can close it out here. SIUe cannot. Here comes the first hit. Trauma, Crook, Red Chase. They're able to find 3 kills. There's the next one for Crook. Breaking on in. 248 to 190. Nobody close enough to touch in time. Concord Maroon able to close out map 1.
Concord Maroon, they risk it all. They don't try to go through the middle of the map. They just completely hit it from the front, and we just see how Megatron's been able to open up so many of these hills. We see it here for himself, and this is where they did it last time around as well. Megatron just breaking the hill from the front on that last rotation before the one we were just on. Just great stuff all around the board. The AR really coming in here. I think Megatron had to have dropped over 30. Didn't see that final tally coming through, but he was dropping numbers. When we were on P4 in the second rotation, Andy, I think he was already at that point. So, I mean, it is just a big game coming through for the player that's been a massive flex for Concord Maroon, and bringing out the AR here for us, really showing what he's capable of doing and how he's able to battle up against these other assault rifle players here for SIUe Red. And that also means that's their very first loss here for them, Andy, which is something they have not experienced. And I can't imagine they're completely down on themselves going in towards this search and destroy on raid. But at the very least, it's got to be something impactful enough to say, hey, like, we have pretty much won every single map throughout this entire tournament. Now we've lost our first one. This is where you're really, truly going to be tested, and how we're going to see if they're going to be able to bounce back still going in towards the search and destroy on raid.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, too. I mean, Megatron is just one of those players. I know that you, me, and I hold shift. We talked about just Megatron in whole. Saw a lot of value with the sub. They picked up the AR there towards the end of the Modern Warfare season, and it's nice to see that flexibility, that versatility, and the perseverance to come on through from Megatron. Again, you saw Trauma there at the end as well, not really having the same value with the AR, and then you had Megatron doubling on up with Crooked, who was finding infamous amount of value. And again, that's just their profile throughout everything that we saw from last season, now leading inside this kickoff tournament. And it's just so wonderful to be able to see that the boys, whether it's inside their bunker there in the West Virginia University or not, it's just wonderful to be able to see them working in tangent of one another. And just Red Chase seems to be in top four, and it is a recipe for Concord's success. Now, for SIUE, this is something that they're going to have to try to bounce on back from, something that you and I noted on back when we were casting over them when they were facing inside their quarterfinal match, was that their search and destroy was a little lackluster, specifically in their opening search and destroy in map number 2. This could be the potential tying up of the series and potentially a momentum flip if SIUE can then rally off of some of their strengths that we saw in their previous semifinal.
That's been a big problem, I think, as a whole, was a lot of the breakoffs in towards search and destroy, like you just said, and the control points. And something we've learned so far from Concord Maroon is that they are actually really good at control. We saw them 3-0 in that quarterfinal. They 3-0'd the last opponents there, Illini Orange coming through with, I think it was a 3-0 on raid as well. So they're also going to be playing raid control, which means that this is probably even more important that you tie up the series now instead of going 0-2 down. And it's likely probably going to be a win, or at least you could certainly favor Concord based off of the results so far on the day. So that puts a lot more emphasis on these guys. And the big thing I think that I had touched on coming off that last series was these guys performed really well under pressure. That time around, it cracks in the final moments, but you could say, all right, Megatron had a pop-off game. He was able to take control. That was enough to be able to push Concord forward and break from the front of P3, which is something we don't typically see. Now, that also could be chalked up to saying, all right, are they going to be able to handle the pressure from a team that plays extremely fast tempo, really has insane teamwork, and already has the trust within one another, which is also a point we've been bringing up when talking about this Concord Maroon squad, because they are so individually talented. And when together, when working as a core unit, I mean, we've just seen how they're able to dominate and run through their opponents, specifically in respawn. So this is going to be a true test, I feel like, for the most part for SIUE. They have to bounce back. They have to regain going in towards this raid, search, and destroy. And they also have to be creative, because we've seen how Concord went down 1-4 as well in the map 5 there in quarterfinals, and they brought things back. They start to figure out your setups, they break it down, and they're able to adapt very, very quickly.
Yeah, and again, search and destroy was their bread and butter there towards the playoffs and throughout the Modern Warfare year, which is why we're sitting here hitting this point continuously. So to be able to go back and shape and form to be able to set themselves up for success ahead of the regular season would be a wolf. They were already a juggernaut already ahead of the 2021 year here in CCL, but I mean to be able to stamp themselves as a very dominant control team, to be able to have their hard point backing themselves up against the wall and then being able to bite back underneath that pressure that you were just talking about, Austin, would absolutely be a recipe for a success factor for Concord Maroon. And again, the regular season starting on February 1st, we'll get all those answers, I can only imagine. But we got to get through the kickoff tournament first. SIUE Red here, D-Day, Plasmid, Buzz, and Mythic really need to try to bounce on back. But just as soon as I try to hit that point, they already lost 3 members, 1v4.
Yeah, it's just the nades bouncing off of them there, Andy, as that was a real tough pill to swallow. That I like the idea. Go for the initial challenge, see if you can get them in map control. But without that scope that we talked about being G8, it is so difficult to challenge this from the offensive side, because you get here just a couple seconds late. And that means the pre-aim is going to be ready and waiting there for you the majority of the time. So that was a very quick round. Concord Maroon able to come through. Great nade from Crooked. And that is going to steal away the very first round, at least for defense. And now we'll hop over towards offense, where we've been seeing a lot of A hits. And that looks to be what's gearing up here for Concord going in towards their first offensive round.
Keep in mind, you GAs, no smokes, no snipers. Gotta have to hit this, gotta be able to find the kills. Z-Day able to answer on 1 towards Megatron. Quick answer from the Semtex, though. Looks like Concord Maroon are going to be able to set themselves up here on the site, but Buzz hitting it from the poolside stairs going to be able to shut it on down. Bomb dropped right on the S&D site.
And they have info on that as well. They get that kill. They know the bomb is being planted, so they have a chance to really be able to thin out everything on the map for as far as rotations. It all is pretty separate, so not a whole lot of trades are likely to come through. Plasmid giving a bit of a shoulder. Double hit right there from open stairs. That's good for Trauma. And now Red Chase, last one left alive, has a kill to his name, but is not going to get any peeks here from the middle of the map. They also have to still know this bomb has been dropped right on the site. So Red Chase, with limited time left, has to cut through 3 members.
Nah, you gotta imagine that this is probably all just chalked and ready to go inside round number 3 for Red Chase. Just thinking about it. Just gotta go to get a running start, maybe? No? Okay, all right. Maybe. Thinking about it. Ah! In round number 3, I mean, time was about to become a consideration. There was just no way you're going to find those kills. And yeah, I mean, if you've ever played against Concord Maroon, you know that Crook, or even if you scouted out anything to do with their previous series, you know that Crook's going to be carrying that bomb. And, well, of course, you smoke them from behind over towards that AS&D site. Means that the bomb will be dropped. It was a beautiful double challenge that came through from the open stairs like you were casting over there, Austin, to be able to shut down Trauma. And what is about to be the position that Trauma could have found, maybe turn that round back on its head. Not going to be the case. So here come SIUe Red on the offense, looking towards that A hit one more time. But as far as the defense is concerned, almost looking like they're playing for the retake and the information in tow.
Nade actually falls short there. I think that was Megatron's nade, so he doesn't actually find the info, but they certainly know everyone is going to be here. As Buzz is holding a bit of an off angle, tags up one. Off screen, it's Mythic who finds himself Megatron here, so massive advantage. And Mythic's is still down low, playing his life as this hit's about to come through stairs. All 3 members, one is good for Mythic. Will there be a trade? Crook able to get himself underneath and actually finds himself a double, so this evens up the odds. 2v2 with 20 seconds left. Crook might have to find all 4 members, and well, he grabs 3 out of 4. Last one left alive. Will they read him up top? That is the question. Crook will go for the peak. Bomb's being defused. He tries to spin, but he's still defusing the bomb. He didn't need to get the kill, and he can't. But it doesn't matter because they will be able to get that defuse in the end. Clutching up. Crook gets the ace, and will put them up by 1.
Yeah, massive ace. We'll see it from Crook's perspective. Just one player slips on by. I believe the melee actually connected right there in a drive-by fashion, but just challenging everything in their sight. Crooked off of a fantastic hardpoint, just 74 U in hand, just no fear. What was that, about like 15 HP right there as well, just waiting for the regen and the execution of the play. Days, you know, that is the play as old as S&D's time in Call of Duty. One player hops on the bomb, one player waits for the player to try to challenge from the enemy team, and could be an easy round win, but SIUe Red going to be looking for another defensive round win, and this could actually be a fantastic read of the century so far. 3 players defensively down low for SIUe Red. Concord Maroon, they really want this BS&D site.
You know Crook's feeling himself when he's looking for challenges with that sub from the top of ring.
So true.
He's absolutely ready to go. He's got the bomb, mind you, as well. And it looks like he wants to go in. He will go. Gets one. Will he escape with his life? Yes, he does. As the player comes up and challenges, he hops back in to say hello, but this time around, he will be punished. That is also the bomb down. Man advantage no longer in favor of Concord as they end up losing their 3rd, and now it's going to be out the Trauma and yet another 1v3. Finds the first one and makes it now a 1v2.
Puts himself over inside of money. Wants to try to fully wrap this. I mean, we know because of the mini-map and the X-ray that one player's going to put themselves inside it. Right outside the gallery, and then you also have Plasmid inside of Laundry. Now Trauma's location is going to be more than known, so Plasmid's going to drop down. Move their way over towards Spirals. 22 seconds to be able to find 2 kills here. You know damn well they're not going to pick up the bomb and being able to get this plan. Not with where you have Buzz inside of the art gallery. A little bit of a fumble coming through from Crook there. I mean, listen, I have an ego. I probably would have challenged that too. But, you know, with the tournament on the line, and the bragging rights in tow, can't be making stupid plays like that, Crook. Come on now. Kabut said.
Oh, shots here too. Through Plasmid. Bringing out the scope. I mean, we've seen so much of this today, and it just is going to be really interesting to see how this kind of evolves throughout the entire season. If we start getting multiple ARs with scopes coming through just because it's so good going for these long-range battles. And, well, that's another example of where it's very valuable here for you. So tie game here for us as we go in towards a massive swing round here, round number 5. D-Day going to watch that cross here off the start. Make sure no one's going to be able to get ring control on defense. And it is just going to be Trauma watching over this B site as the bomb is kind of just hovering in towards the middle of the map, playing for information, playing for what could be a potential first blood. And Buzz is exactly working for that as he tries to push up. But this is all mid-map control right now for the side of Concord, Andy. It's going to be very difficult to do anything without them knowing.
Almost have to hope that stuns are going to finding information here for Southern Illinois, but Red Chase will find first blood. That's going to be on the Buzz. That's right outside of Spiral. Power position Trauma as well over towards Laundry, just in case the push does come through. Still kind of playing through the middle of the map. Crook sees an opportunity. They fly on forward. There's 2 quick kills in succession, and Puts them up to 10-2 now, doesn't it? Trauma's going to get traded on out, but, I mean, really, D-Day's got 28 seconds left to find all of these kills, and they're just going to get swarmed. Concord Maroon able to make this a one-round affair for the lead.
I think that was absolutely a moment where G-Day's like, stay alive, guys, stay alive. I'm going to make a play. I'm going to make a play. And then you just see this happen in the kill feed. You're like, all right, I'm not making a play. 1v4. It is over. But look at Crook right now, man. He is feeling himself. He's pre-firing. He's shooting. He's like, where are they? Give me the kills. Let me run them down. G-Day, show your face. I dare you. There it is in the back and the front. Doesn't matter. Crook is finding kills left and right. This has got to put him close to double digits. I think he's on 9, I want to say. 11. Oh, he's on 11. I'm way off it. He's already double digits right now. He's 11-2.
Crook is feeling themselves for sure. I mean, Megatron's over there at 0-3, 1-3 for Trauma. Red Chase is at 2-3. Everybody's just kicking their legs up over by the tiki bar, just having themselves a little bit of a lemonade, maybe an apple juice. That's what I would be having. But still, and Crook is absolutely flying. Again, bomb being carried, hops inside of Laundry, tries to go for the drop shot. There's the bomb dropped again, but listen, I'll let it slide. All right, Andrew, you're freaking nasty, kid.
Bomb down in an awful situation here as Trauma and Megatron, both AR players, might be looking to try pool side, but all that mid-map control will be gifted over towards SIUe Red. And once again, a situation where you're not going to be able to do anything without them knowing, but G-Day knows, doesn't matter, ends up falling. Plasmid, chance to try and gun one, but will throw his life away. So what was it, 2v4, now we 2v2? I say that, and now we 1v2 as Megatron finds himself in a pretty difficult situation. 30 seconds left, needs to get this bomb, but you can tell by the positioning that they don't know the bomb's down.
Just going to go play for the retrieve here. It's not going to go 1v3. Megatron really don't play here. 1v2 is you got to retrieve the bomb, and really only got about 5 more seconds to make this plan happen. And they're just going to go ahead and just try to play for the kills. The rotation's not here for Megatron. Not going to be able to find the kills. Both Buzz and Mythic just playing passively around the bedroom. Finds one of Mythic towards the center, and very wise for Buzz just to run and try to keep their life, as they will be able to tie things back up 3 apiece. But I mean, Crook, you got to think at some point maybe they stop challenging top Laundry with the bomb in hand. But you know, judging off of what we've seen so far, it's 0 for 2. So maybe we might just see it happen a few more times.
Yeah, those are those moments from when we used to see like TP and stuff, who was like the main objective player for like Complexity back in the day. And it's like, all right, you take the map, or you take the bomb this time around, Aches. Like, I'm going to fly at them. I'm going to do my thing. That's something Crook's got to do, because he's flying, he's getting kills, but just is putting the bomb in a little bit of a tough situation here, back-to-back offenses. But 3-3, it's been a very close search and destroy. A lot of back and forth so far, a lot of give and take. Buzz might be looking to replicate what Crook has been trying to do, and no one's going to be inside of Laundry, so Buzz does get control. Bomb also fairly far pushed up, and Megatron actually finds Mythic. Trauma will win the one-on-one. Buzz with a great jump shot evens the odds up, and 3v3 we go.
Buzz is challenged at a 10 HP. Crook inside of Laundry now is going to be able to find a trade. Now Buzz, 2 more players remaining for Concord Maroon. Bomb dropped just outside of Laundry, closer towards that BS&D site. Buzz has a 74U to play with, and it's going to be tough. You got Red Chase. They are just searching around pillars. Shots are going to come through from Buzz. Their position is more than sought out. Of course, it's Crook going for the challenge. He's going to play passively around the corner. Buzz almost actually ended up killing him, but Crook's going to get the better of that one. Again, Concord Maroon taking back the lead only by a round.
Correct. Look at this play here. The Kahunas that push through, finds the kill, rewraps Laundry. He's doing 360s. He is cracked right now. Like, talk about being in the zone. He is just in a whole new level. 14-3, finds 3 out of 4 in that last round. Concord Maroon, though, still only up by a round. This is a very close search and destroy for someone dropping 14 kills.
He has twice the amount of kills as the rest of his team combined.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. I mean, Crook's got the bomb again. We're not going to be flying inside the Laundry anytime soon. You're just going to look to hold the passive angle inside of Red. It's going to be Red Chase that finds first blood. That's on the Plasmid.
Big AR player now down. Buzz, only one really here from this side defensively. That nade just about good for the kill, and it is.
Whoa.
Crook, look at the movement. Just like, we could just stop casting, just let him take over. I mean, cast is for us at this point. Look at the kills that are coming through. Well, there you go. This is something right now. They will be able to pretty much wipe the floor with their opponents this round here, and finally Concord going to be able to go up by more than one.
Jordan General is smiling if he's watching this broadcast. But good lockdown there from Red Chase to be able to find first blood is a very good opening towards the BS&D side. But I mean, Crook is just on a whole different level right now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. He's got the WD-40s on the sticks or something. He is just swinging. He's moving. Like I said, I mean, it's just poetry in motion, really, coming on through. Very aggressive defense for Concord Maroon. You can't even be surprised at this point, the way that they've been playing out this entirety of the map, but we're looking like an A hit coming through from SIUe Red. The only problem is that Mythic already went down. The bomb dropped just outside the pool.
D-Day and Plasma, it's on them to make sure they don't drop the search and destroy and keep things going. Megatron does get tagged up, plays his life, and now looks to reposition down low. Bomb is picked up there. Plasmid, can he escape? Yes, he can. He gets out with his life, but where do you go from here? You got 45 seconds left. Your only real option is probably hitting A, because you have to know they're coming from the back. And well, he does actually attack from the back here, and that will mean that they're able to actually respond. So as much as it's a 2v, or was a 2v4, now going to be even odds. D-Day tagged up again, but none of these players dropping down and dying. However, they have to make a decision, and it looks like the decision is going to be D-Day making the first move over towards B to clear things out and see if they can get this bomb down in time.
Going to rotate through the driveway, and I believe that Plasmid will try to rotate through the middle of the map to make their rotation all the more easier. No, actually cut on through the art gallery, and that's a very wise decision by them. But the problem is that Trauma is here. I believe that they ended up seeing that a player did work their way over towards the site. Wonderful play by Trauma. Not enough time. Megatron just has to stay alive here, and they do so. 6-3 the final scoreline here on the Raid Search and Destroy. Concord Maroon up 2-0 in the series count. Crook, just Bob Ross painting throughout all the entirety of this Raid Search and Destroy.
Yeah, that was the game. Like, there is not too many games where you're just able to run at your opponents and just completely disrespect and wipe the floor with them, picking up multi-kill after multi-kill. We had tons of aces and plenty of 3 out of 4 kills coming through in a lot of those search and destroy rounds. It was obviously the main reason Concord was able to pull that one out, giving them a 2-0 series lead against a squad that has not been dropping maps, has not really been losing whatsoever throughout this entire tournament. And now they're finally meeting that, and they're starting to get towards the point where Concord Maroon have got them figured out. And like I touched on going in towards it, they're so good at being able to break down what you're doing really well, and they just make those changes come in effectively. And once those changes come through, it's up to you to be able to try and respond back to some kind of creativity on some of these offensive rounds where things aren't necessarily slowing down, they're still picking you apart. And more often than not, we're seeing these first bloods also come through for Concord, just giving them so much map control and so much pressure to play off bait and switches. So things have been great. They've been looking really strong, and now we're going in towards what has arguably been their best game mode the entire day. 3-0s coming through on Raid control. This is where they want to be, and this is where they have a strong chance of being able to close this series out.
Yeah, I mean, they 3-0'd Cali State, Long Beach, 3-0'd Illini Orange, both on control. And I mean, that's just a really scary place to be. I mean, plus the way that Crook is just playing right now, it's absolutely twisted. I don't even, there's no words to describe it. Kid's just wild. But it's just one of those things too. Like you even broke down that Concord Maroon. I mean, it's that championship mentality. They have the coaching, they got the facility at their university to be able to really grind where it's more than necessary. And plus, these young kids are also just playing challenges. I know that a few of them are also playing through the cups as well with a multitude of individuals, and they're very driven to become better at Call of Duty while also pursuing their schooling as well. And that's what's just also really impressive is that when you have that championship mentality, even placing second last season to Texas A&M Maroon, to know that you have to be able to have these adaptations, you have to be able to persevere while being able to read what your opponents are doing. That's what's really scary about Concord Maroon, and that's what they've been able to showcase time and time again, at least throughout the day.
It's been great. It's been so fantastic to watch. I mean, Concord Maroon, a squad that you've already touched on it, Andy. We've talked about it a lot throughout the entire last year, and it's just, you really want to see these guys maybe potentially finally break through and have a chance at being able to take that home. And it all starts with the kickoff. That's how they had the hot start last year. And I mean, this is really looking like another fierce team. I mean, there's just something to be said about squads that stick together and don't make a massive roster change where they're like swapping two players out and they're keeping the same core four players again. And it's just that chemistry, that trust, it just builds so much from year to year, from Call of Duty to Call of Duty. So squad is definitely looking fantastic. It's not going to be easy to beat, but SIUE, we did see them play a control on raid. It ended up going towards round 5. It wasn't super clean, and it was mainly because of their breakoffs here, which means that they've had a bit of a chance to be able to say, okay, we could probably have watched that game against Concord, right? Because there was about a half an hour break between that semifinal and this one. So there's a chance to be able to say, this is what Concord's really doing, and we have a chance to maybe try to adapt to that and fix those mistakes on the fly. That's what I hope they were doing in between matches while they were waiting. And I mean, at the moment, it's probably good to maybe stall it a couple minutes before jumping in towards that map through as well. Let Crook kind of cool off a little bit, you know, make sure he's not keeping the gunnies super hot by any means, because if that is the situation that unfolds here for us going in towards map 3, then maybe there's just no chance in hell here for SIUE, especially with the way Concord's already been playing the map. When you have one menace on the map that is, you know, simply 1v2ing and 1v3ing you all the time, it's gonna be really difficult to get any kind of map control offensively or defensively.
Yeah, and again, I mean, for SIUE Red, something that we even noticed when they were playing up against Florida State, that match was incredibly close, almost a reverse sweep, keep in mind
Yeah,
you, on that raid
it was
control
close.
from Florida State, just off of a handful of mistakes. Damn near gifted coming out from SIUE, and that's what's really scary is that they were overcommitting towards a site or a zone rather that should have just been given on up. They were giving themselves up as far as positioning is concerned, rather than just putting themselves back towards the favorite zone, giving up too many respawns, trying to go for a retake, not waiting for the respawns. You want to talk about a team that's going to absolutely just gobble up all of those forced errors? You're facing up against them, SIUE. And this is what's really scary is that when you have Crook that's absolutely twisted on the map, even looking at what Megatron was able to do on that Moscow hardpoint, this could be a recipe for a very, very quick 3-0. And I honestly hope it's not. I mean, I would love to be able to see SIUE being able to take this raid control and then descend it towards the checkmate hardpoint.
Yeah.
If they're able to, like you were talking about, go back in the VOD, maybe study it while Concord and Maroon were playing their semifinal versus Illini Orange, and being able to read some of their mistakes and being able to learn from them as well. Might have to see some of those adaptations, coming on forward inside of this raid control.
It's going to be very, very important. But I do think that we are waiting on these guys to get in towards the map. Think they're all in the lobby. So we're just about there, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, this by no means is us writing off this squad, but there is a lot of work to be done. And usually when there's a lot of work to be done, there has to be an individual, not all the time, but it certainly helps that it's going to be able to kind of carry you there. So seeing what we saw from Mythic, for example, was someone, you know, who was just absolutely taking over before in some of those respawns and basically doing exactly what Crook's doing in these at least first 2 maps. That's what I'm looking for here for SIUE, to see if they're going to be able to actually get something going here. And it might just take a heroic player to be able to step up, do what Crook's been doing, and really just take over and see if that is enough to maybe push them through at the very least a couple of rounds. Because seeing Concord at least lose one round is, you know, a step at saying, all right, we can take these guys down, because that is probably the biggest goal, right? Yeah, it's the little W's you're going to get away with, but that little W hopefully leads in towards the entire W of the map if you can get there and take them down and kind of dissect what they've been doing really, really well. So that's really what it's going to come down to, getting in towards this matchup here. But a lot on the line. The squad's been icing up the entire day, but now this is where they have to ice up the most. Map 3, this could be it. Concord Maroon might just be back-to-back kickoff champions coming off the Modern Warfare season. We'll see if they can do it again. Going in towards the first initial break by A, and well, Red Chase with the nade. That was not ideal. It's going to mean they're wiped off the map, and we'll have to turn their attention towards the B zone.
Mistakes were made +1 there for Red Chase. Oh, man. But off the respawn again, this is just raid control. You spawn closer towards the parallel zone once you do lose your life over towards the initial hit. But you got to be careful because the power positions are still being held here for SIUE Red. Yes, the first stick of progress just might be gained off of Concord Maroon sitting here inside of the zone, but that was a very patient play coming out from SIUE Red, just waiting for the entire circumference of their hold, and then they pinched, and then they took it right back. Yes, it's a tick of progress gone, but we're down to 50 seconds remaining, and it's 25 respawns to the 17. There's only a single kill for Concord Maroon.
This is a massive difference for as far as what we've gotten out of Concord on this map. More combination. Trauma finds one. Can he turn for two? Shots are in. Stun is out. Trying to set up his teammates for what could be an easy pickup, but Plasmid says no. Shuts down two. Meanwhile, Red Chase does find himself on top of the A zone. First tick might just come through, and it does. Two players now in the middle of the map as there's an barrier coming out of nowhere. That will be enough to at least stop them from pushing on in. First tick at B, first tick at A. They have options, but they just don't have control.
No, they don't. Not even a little bit. 23 seconds remaining. You can see it from Crook's perspective as soon as we hop off it. Knows that they have to make a play. They're going to hit it through jungle. Red Chase and Trauma. They're able to find two. Clock has to be stalled out here, and it will be at 15.4 seconds over towards the A zone. And you also have Crook going rogue over towards the Tiki Bar, able to stop the clock if you end up losing these lives over towards the A zone. But there's the second tick over towards A. Second tick of progress is about to come through over towards B. And Concord Maroon, with their 7 respawns in tow, might just work their way over towards this B zone to try to stack it and allow Crook to move their way up through jungle.
Low on lives is going to be the problem here for Concord. They have to play very reserved, and D-Day finding 2 pieces is not going to make that easy. Down to 5 lives now as this might be the zone coming in. Crook does manage to secure that here. So minute 11 now will be what they have to work with. And to be fair, you don't need a lot of lives if you just need that final tick. So it just takes one good push to get the job done, and they could still secure this offensive round.
Just might be able to do it. One good kill feed. That's all Concord Maroon do. And you're set to done the way the Plasmid's been playing, just playing these angles. There's the kill on the Trauma. Now if you're Concord Maroon, don't take this in a 3v-odd situation. Red Chase also gets caught out. That's by Buzz. That's inside of Red. And that's SIUe Red. I mean, they're just playing this so wonderfully. Hey, here comes the pinch from the backside, though. It's going to be Megatron. Doubled on up here with Crook. Plasmid is able to find Red Chase again. And although you think that this pinch is going to be able to come on through, the counterplay from SIUe Red is just to work their way down driveway, work themselves inside the spawn for Concord Maroon. And now Crook's got to go absolutely massive.
Plasmid shuts that down from the back. One last contest here from the front. Just 3 players remaining for the side of Concord on offense. Shots come through. They do find Plasmid. There's also a team kill there from Mythic. So this is a chance to get the zone. They have to contest, and they have to win these gunfights. Megatron finds one. They end up doing it. There's no way you lose that round if you're SIUe Red. But Concord Maroon, they have other plans, Andy, and they do it and then bring it home.
Yeah, and it was this last hit that came on through, right up through the driveway. Again, their win condition was to be able to get this A zone, and like I said, just one good kill feed is all they needed. At any given point in time, any one of these 4 members for Concord Maroon can absolutely snap. I know that we've been talking a lot about Crooked off that search and off that hard point. Same thing for Megatron, but that time around for Trauma played a very good role in just being able to lock down those shots to find the opening inside of the A zone. That's a last little moment right there for SIUe Red. I'm sure that they're going to want back. We're going to have to hit the regain because here comes their offense.
Big regain needs to be hit, and well, it's a much better start. They do find a couple of opening kills. Entries are good. Buzz now just going to be here with one of his teammates, D-Day, to make sure that first tick is good. The second now on the way. They have some laundry control, and Plasmid is pretty much in control of the middle of the map here. So this could be good for the entire zone if they can maintain this hold. Finally coming through on that third tick. Maybe a contest. Red Chase does manage to finesse and get himself on the point for a second, but Buzz is there for the response even if things went sour, and they will grab this first zone very early with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to work towards the second one.
And a good respawn lead, too. If you're 23 to 18, now you can just try to slow things up if you're SIUe Red, but slowing up is not exactly in the playbook here for Concord Maroon. They're looking to find these kills continuously, but they're going to have to try to get these players off the beat. So far, so good. Plasmid up in top bedroom is going to be able to find 2. Is now going to be looking to hit this through the open staircase. No players here towards the middle of the map, but this is all why SIUe Red are still finding value towards the Tiki Bar.
Plasmid, important role. He's got the whole middle of the map cut, but he loses all of his teammates, and now it's all on him. Pressure slowly building here. Crooked will clean him up for the trade. Buzz, oh, he gets wide canceled. Good night, my friend. Crooked is now putting himself on a couple in a row as Trauma follows up onto Mythic. Control here in towards the pool house as Crook's able to push up. And this is now going to be bad news bears if you're going to be able to try and push up through this water side. You can see them taking the long way around. Red Chase is the middle of the map. Crook's just going back and forth, playing for info. So they have to know that the hit is coming all the way around as one player is going to be still up top. Red Chase finds that first one off screen as the hit is all unfolding just about from the back, and Crook's still just trying to play this roaming role, trying to fight and look for information. A gunfight now will come to him as he will run at D-Day, absolutely mows him down and finds the easy pickup.
Megatron from Top Money is going to be able to take down Buzz as well. A life lead that was there after SIUe Red had taken the A zone has just gone away, has slipped away. 49 seconds remaining, and all kills are coming up. Concord Maroon so far. Crook still going rogue, just reading where these players are coming from. One more player underneath the bedroom will catch Crook. That's Buzz. In a reload was Crook, but SIUe Red really only have one last good hit to work their way through the middle of the map with their 5 respawns as well to try to break inside this B zone.
Crook all the way from the back, gonna rewrap in towards kitchen to add some extra support. Mythic is ready and waiting, but we'll lose the gunfight. Red Chase now, last one down low here for the time being. They will hop on towards the point. 16 seconds. They don't really have enough time to get off of the zone and find kills. Everything has to take place on the objective, and well, Concord Maroon, they are just finding every single kill possible. Red Chase in from behind, good for one, and will just turn. Does get some help from Crook there, so maybe it wouldn't have came through, but in the end, it doesn't matter. It hurts just as much. Concord Maroon, they're staying on track with their 3-0s here on Raid Control, and we might just get another one to finish off the series here in Grand Finals.
I mean, you gotta think. This should be 1-1 right now.
Really should.
It really, really should. Oh, poor SIUe Red. Really giving away that first round. You're gonna have to hope that you have a strong opening again. I mean, through 2 rounds, SIUe Red have a very strong opening. They have a clear-cut advantage over Concord Maroon, and Concord Maroon, they see the rug. It's easy to grab, and they just rip it out from underneath the feet of SIUe Red. 16-9 for Crooked. Just back in tip-top form. 9 for Plasmid, by the way.
Look at Plasmid. I was just about to say, like, 22-9. Like you would think it's the opposite scoreline here, like 2-0 for SIUe Red, but that is not the case. And now they need to respond defensively, but this time actually holding clutch up. And already a 3-man stack comes through. Good enough for 1 tick, but this is a great response here. They're able to clean up just about everyone on the zone. Mythic grabs the 3rd, and Crook the last one left alive. So his teammates look to turn their attention over towards the B zone here, where they'll have a brief 3v2 on the minimap, as you can see. And Crook might have actually found the angle to play for a beautiful pinch here. Should be good at the very least for 1. Does find it, slips away through dividers, and now has a chance to run in towards the spawn. Don't think he's going to read the player to his left, and he doesn't, but it's fine because his teammates are getting work done over by B, and they do at the very least get themselves a tick.
This is really good, just control coming out from Concord Maroon. I mean, you're able to find that opening tick over towards A, then you shift your focus over towards B. There's a tick of progress. It's only 1 respawn in between these 2 teams right now, and you got to think that Concord Maroon, the way that they've been playing this with Crook with the Sith Lord hood over top of his face, just going absolutely rogue at the back line continuously, just really splitting up the focus for SIUe Red. 3-for-1 trade. Now being able to get that 3rd tick of progress is definitely there for Concord Maroon. 2 minutes on the board, 2 life lead as well for Concord Maroon. And who's over here first? Of course, it's Crook, but Mythic gets a quick trade.
Are they going to be able to stabilize? There was a lot of time to play with, and SIUe Red are down in lives. Red Chase being a menace on the point right now. Doesn't have support, but maybe doesn't even need it. His teammates finally here to regroup with them as nades come out. There needs to be a break, and this very well could be the last push coming through. Concord Maroon might just pull off a 3-0 in Grand Finals, and Trauma is getting the job done. There is 3 out of 4. No one can contest. Concord Maroon, they do it again. Back-to-back kickoff champions, and they do it in dominating fashion here in this grand final.
Oh, man. We should be going in towards another round right now. Yeah, we should absolutely be going into another. I don't want to keep this. No, I feel like I'm just hitting a dead horse at this point, man. I'm just SIUe Red.
Man.
Just no words. I'm very upset. Very upset. But you know what? This is why it's just a kickoff tournament. These are just glorified exhibition matches in between some very, very talented collegiate teams ahead of the regular season, which is right around the corner for you all. But, I mean, Concord Maroon, Crooked. I don't know what the heck you had for dinner, but you go ahead and send me that recipe, brother, because I'm fitting to whip up some of that before I game tonight, man. That was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, Plasmid also played a fantastic control there as well. I mean, it's somewhere up to about like 25, 27 kills with only about like 11, 12 deaths there at the end. And that's why I highlighted them ahead of the raid control, is that they were able to find a lot of value of that back in their semifinal match. It just wasn't enough. The submachine gun pressure just wasn't there to back up what Plasmid was doing from afar. Was creating a lot of space, but the submachine guns just weren't there. The other side, that's exactly what was happening for Concord Maroon. Red Chase, ACOG scope, or the red dot necessarily matter for them, as you then had the SMGs just absolutely running amok. And again, I just picture just Andrew Cook with a nice little Sith hood over top of his head and just running into the back line continuously. Although he wasn't finding continuous 3-piece after 3-piece like we saw in the Search and Destroy and in the opening hardpoint. That's exactly what you want from a submachine gun. That's what you want from your rogue player in control, to be able to split the focus from the defense and always keep them guessing. And that is just why I was saying that it was just clinical control coming through from Concord Maroon. Some towards the B zone, unsuccessful, back towards the A zone. Take a progress on each. Which one can we take easier? Well, we just got 2 kills over towards B. Let's go ahead and just stack this. Easy round.
It's good to be back, Andy. It's good to be back casting some collegiate Call of Duty. We got some excellent matches today. And if you're still here, well, thanks for tuning in. It's been a great time all around the board, but make sure you guys follow the socials down below. Hit that follow button on Twitch, because we got so much Call of Duty coming your way. We got 2 streams that are going to be running once we get in towards the season. There is a entire lineup of casters ready and waiting to jump on towards these games, and we know it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great season. So make sure you guys go down below, follow all those so you can stay up to date for when CCL is going to be going live here for us. But that is going to do it on the night. Congratulations to Concord Maroon doing it here again, making it look easy, dominating grand finals performance. A lot of pop-off moments from every single one of these individuals at their given moment in time throughout all 3 of these maps, and they take that one home. And well, we'll see what team is going to be able to crack their control, because that seems to be a pretty big problem at the moment. So congrats to those guys. That's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next stream.